Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Sensual Revolution. Coital Conversation. At least it has an alliteration to it, but what the heck is it? Human beings are distinguished by their capacity for verbal dialogue and verbal communication. It seems odd that we would completely divorce that from conversations about sex, especially when conversations about sex actually stoke desire and magnify lust. We have so many hang-ups about talking about sex. And when it comes to people who are not our lovers, our partners, our spouses, of course, those hang-ups should exist. They're inappropriate in non-intimate professional conversations. But they could not be more appropriate when it comes to marriage. A husband and wife have to be able to talk to each other in an intimate setting, in a sexual setting, in bed together. It's not just about doing things with your body. If you actually divorce the mind from sex, you are just suppressing so much of its passion and its desire. I'm not only talking about the absolute need to articulate what you like in sex, which so many people find hard to do. I'm not only talking about, I enjoy this is pleasurable, this makes me feel good. That's critical, especially for women, because a lot of men honestly don't know. I know a lot of women also don't know about what men like, but men can be a little bit more clueless. Men are not great experts in the female body, and in this porn-saturated society where everybody does like 3 or 4 things 10,000 times over and over again, it could actually increase ignorance about the female body. But I'm not only talking about articulating, this makes me feel good. I'm saying about talking about your desire, how you feel. I'm getting excited. I'm getting aroused. This is happening to my body. This response and this reaction is what I'm currently experiencing. Or to talk about fantasies you have about each other. You know, so often during sex, we close our eyes and we retreat into a world of fantasy. And to an extent we do that because fantasy can often be even more exciting than reality. And often we do it because we want to tune out any distractions. Well, what a shame, because you're not having sex with a headless horseman. You're having sex with someone that you love. You're not supposed to be decapitating them mentally and just using their body for friction, even if you are fantasizing about them, which is nice, but nowhere near as nice as actually focusing on them. What coital conversation does is pull you into your spouse, pull you into your partner. And they begin to share with you about their mutual arousement, their excitement. And it makes things so much more electric and fiery. Sex is not just an activity of the limbs. Sex is not just an endeavor of our corporeal selves. Sex is an effort that is made by our intelligent selves, our emotional selves, and all of that is expressed through dialogue. By the way, I'm not saying this is easy. Interestingly enough, although we all think that sex is so instinctual, it can actually be pretty darn hard. And practice makes perfect. Comfort comes from practice. The more you do it, the more comfortable you feel. So when you're making love to your wife, a husband can actually say to her, you know, you look amazing. This part of your body looks amazing. What you're doing to me feels amazing. This is how I'm beginning to feel. This is what I think about you. Often I fantasize about you in the following setting. And you'll see that your wife will really respond. And then you should ask her without pushing to speak in kind. What are the fantasies she has about you? What are the things that excite her about you? And as these conversations coalesce, you'll see that the desire becomes positively electric because now every part of your being is engaged. Think about the opposite, where you make love and you don't peer into each other's eyes, you avoid eye contact and you avoid eyes open sex, where you don't talk, there's almost nothing verbal. There may be some weird grunting, and you know that's okay because hopefully it's a sign of pleasurable feeling. But why would we think that sex is a time when we're not supposed to communicate? I do understand there are moments of sex where communication is probably not helpful, maybe at its most ecstatic moments. But as you build up toward that, communication is vital, and it actually connects you so much more deeply. And remember, we here at the Sensual Revolution actually believe that the purpose of sex is intimate connection. It's not just passionate pleasure, which of course should be. Sex has got to be a joyous celebration of carnal pleasure. But it also has these very powerful consequences where you feel more intimate, you feel more connected. People feel connected when their verbal selves actually connect them more deeply. You know, we always say that communication is so important in relationships, and by that we mean say what's bothering you or say what you like. I'm not talking about sex, I'm speaking about in everyday interactions. But if it's so important outside of a sexual setting, why would you suddenly think we're supposed to be cavemen in a sexual setting? We're supposed to just like grunt at each other? We're supposed to just like, oh, that's not correct at all. Learning how to express erotically what you feel could not be more sexy. It couldn't create stronger desire, and it couldn't be more electrifying in sex. I'm Rabbi Shmuley, and I hope you continue to enjoy the sensual revolution.